So we're in a parking lot at Walmart bright and early this morning. We're getting ready to head out to our first Badge of Honor trail. We're convoying out to Big Bend National Park with Brew Crew. We're going to invade the park. We're going to be camping out there. Spending Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We're going to go do Christmas Mountain tomorrow.
Yes.
We are going to hit Black Gap Trail for that Badge of Honor on Saturday, as well as a lot of other really fun trails. So we're going to have you guys along for the ride, and this should be a whole lot of fun. Enjoy. We're going to show you some Jeeps before we head out and hit the road.
Yeah.
All right, here we go. Almost to the campsite. I say almost. It's quite a few miles of washboard roads here that we get to go down to get to camp. It's some primitive land. We've got somebody in the group that has some land out here that we all decided to camp on. It's near Terlingua Ranch, so it's not too far away from where we're going to be going to Christmas Mountains, and once we actually go into Big Bend to be able to hit up Black Gap. So that will be coming up here shortly. This is where we come to pick up the key to actually be able to access Christmas Mountains. It's run by Terlingua Ranch. You have to actually go through them to obtain the key. You have a form you have to fill out. It's limited to how many vehicles can actually go up to the mountaintop. You have to basically sign a form. It's free to go up, but you do have to put a deposit down on the key. It's $75. Typically they try to run twice a day, a morning group and an afternoon group. You have to go up to the top of the mountain. They do have quite a few amenities and different things here at Terlingua Ranch Lodge. This is the Bad Rabbit Cafe here. They also offer camping. They have Wi-Fi, they have restrooms, they have showers, all that kind of fun stuff. So it's actually a pretty neat place if you wanted to come and just camp here at the lodge. Have really quick, easy access to Christmas Mountains. But also just, be out here near Big Bend.
Or if you're camping off of their property, you can always buy a day pass. And for the day pass, it gives you access to their amenities. So you can take a shower, you can use a restroom. So if you aren't really the outdoorsy type, but you're wanting to have some of those amenities, then you have that option at this location. So, and the cool thing is that you do have access to that Wi-Fi. When we were there, somebody was having a wedding outside of the cafe. So it's very versatile in terms of what you can do while you're there. So at this point, we are just trying to get up the mountain. Between the road here and then the washboard road, we had a lot of dirt that was just kind of accumulating at this point. So one of the things that we definitely would recommend if you are making this trip is to make sure that you bring some paper towels, something to clean your windshield with. It does make a huge difference, especially if you're doing things like what we were doing, which was trying to get all of that footage and just really show as much as we possibly could. Having a clean window kind of makes a big difference, but it also gives you the chance to take some good pictures and to be able to see out your windows. So
once we make it through the gate, do have to close the gate behind us. Like I said, access is limited to just the group that is going up the mountain whenever you're going. Typically, if you don't make any stops, the drive to the top of the Christmas Mountains range, about an hour. With our group, we did make a few stops, more than a few stops on the way up. There are just some really good, very picturesque views, so everybody wanted to be able to stop and be able to snap some photos for some memories. We had a guy with a drone. He was flying it around, doing all kinds of crazy things, having fun with that. So the trip up the mountain, it is very enjoyable. If you take your time going up, perfectly fine. You don't have to feel rushed to come back down. Like I said, you've got two groups that run a day, basically. So if you get started at 8 o'clock in the morning, then you're going to be able to be up there, and as long as you're out through the gate by noon, get back to the ranch to be able to hand the key off to the next group going up, and you should be good. So you don't have to feel rushed. You don't have to feel like you've got to just race up to the top of the mountain and then be able to race back down. So it's just very nice to be able to kind of cruise through here. There's really nothing difficult about it. There's not any big washouts or big, major obstacles or anything like that you have to contend with. It's basically just dirt road. A few little rocks here and there, but nothing too hard.
Definitely for those people that have sort of a fear of heights, best for you to just kind of focus more on the road. While there is not like any sort of washout, like what Josh said, there still is that slope that's over on the passenger side at this point, since we are going up the mountain. So you just want to make sure that you are careful, especially when you're getting in and out of your vehicle. And like he said, there's not anything challenging on this road. This is really just you enjoying a scenic kind of trip up this mountain to get to the very top, and being able to just really see some of that vegetation that you don't usually see other places. Texas is big, and we live in the north side of Texas, and we don't get to see this sort of vegetation up there. So it was really cool to be able to see. Just, you'll see it in a couple of these shots, these big tall plants that we've not seen in other places that were taller than the Jeep was. So definitely for those people that kind of get a kick out of the vegetation and being able to track it and see what the differences are in different places, this is one of those places where you'll find some things that you won't see anywhere else.
range finally. It's about 5,700 or so feet above sea level. It's actually a really big park, almost 10,000 acres, owned by the Texas State University system. They just have the Terlingua Ranch Lodge handle everything. Once you're up at the peak, you can see off into the distance the Santa Elena Canyon. And then if you're looking off to the left from the peak, you can actually see the lower Chisos Mountains. Both of those are actually in the Big Bend National Park. So it's pretty neat that we came up to Christmas Mountain Range to be able to see all of this before we actually went out to Big Bend Park. So the following day is when we're going to make our trip out there to be able to see that. You see here people stacking some rocks on top of this. It's basically, don't know exactly what it is, but it's a big pile of rocks, and it seems to us like everybody that goes up on a Christmas mountain puts a rock onto the pile. So now here we are, we're just about to make our trip back down the mountain. So from here, we're just going to let you guys enjoy the view and see what the mountain has to offer. We are coming down off of the mountain. We made it to the gate. We're gonna exit, go give the key back, and then we're gonna plan on heading back to camp. It was a nice trip up the mountain. It was a whole lot of fun. Got some really good pictures while we were up there. Enjoyed the scenery. And on the way to camp, we decided to take a little detour. We figured we were pretty close to the actual town of Terlingua itself, so we decided to venture in and see what we could see. Pretty well known for a chili cook-off that they have every year out here. This area, I don't know which specific area of town it is, but there seem to be a whole lot of people gathered out here. They said it's kind of like a ghost town, but there's definitely no ghost town. We saw tons and tons and tons of people. There's an old cemetery out here. There's some pretty neat things to look at. We didn't ever really even get out of the Jeep at this point. We just kind of drove around, saw what we had to see. And we were all pretty worn out from our long day at this point, so we wanted to be able to head back to camp. That's us going up the Christmas Mountains range and looking at some of the old ghost town here in Terlingua. Really hope you guys enjoyed it. It was definitely a fun trip for us. Can't wait to show you what Big Bend has to offer. But as for now, don't forget to click like, click share, and definitely subscribe. Thank you.